Okay, so kind of a lesser of two evils question for you here. Would you rather a girl like you for your looks or for your money?
Looks.
Okay.
I'd rather them like me for my looks than money.
And why is that?
Because at least they'll find me attractive, so there might be some sexual drive.
Yeah.
Where if it's just money, then
The next guy that has more money
and is
gonna
better
be-
looking.
Yeah,
then-
they're both superficial though.
Yeah.
So obviously, like personality would be first.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Then looks.
Yeah.
Then like status or financial career.
And I would hope that I find a partner who doesn't care where I'm at in life. As long as I'm working hard and I'm working towards something, like that's all I care about when I'm trying to find a partner.
You'll hear people say that as long as they have ambition or they're working towards something.
Yeah.
But
I don't care if I meet a girl and she doesn't have 2 cents to her name, but she's hustling, she's working, she takes care of herself. Like that's what matters to me.
yeah,
You know?
showing good habits. That
Absolutely.
It's kind of like investing though, right? You're
Yeah.
investing in a person for the future, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
The reason why Scandinavian women are so attractive is because Vikings used to only have sex with the attractive looking ladies back in the day. It's my hot take.
Yeah, that actually makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I've heard that before, or things like that. I mean, Vikings would go into other countries and kill everyone and take the women.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense who they're going to take, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They must have had a tough time in England. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That was before
Have you seen
all
that?
their makeup.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that Theo Von clip where he's like, somehow the UK has acquired some of the least attractive women I've ever seen.
I haven't seen that.
It's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They do, like you were saying earlier, they do like to...
They definitely, let's put it kindly. They have a different style sense than we're used to in North America.
Very much so, yeah.
I feel like their style sense, at least in like the makeup, like I feel like early 2000s was like heavy makeup in North America. I feel like UK is still stuck in that.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No,
or-
I agree. I think over in the western part of the world, like Canada and America, they're really going back towards like that. Let's be natural, no makeup.
Yeah, I would agree.
Wear your sweatpants to work kind of thing.
Yeah, I would
which
agree.
I like. I've always preferred a more natural girl.
Totally.
Like,
Totally.
even if you have acne, like I don't want you to cover it up.
I've always told girls I've dated, like, I prefer you without.
Yeah.
Like maybe throw a little bit of the mascara on or whatever that's called and call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wings that girls do you like that with the eyeliner? Have you seen them when they
I
do
don't. I guess it's not my preference, but I've actually seen it look pretty good on some girls. I don't really care either way. What about you?
Not my favorite.
No?
So, well, sometimes it looks like they're about to take off with those effing things, man.
Well, it depends on how exaggerated it is. Yeah, I don't mind it.
Okay.
I saw a Jordan Peterson quote the other day, something on social media, where he basically said, men are motivated by the ideal version of a woman in their mind. This isn't exact, but basically what he was thinking was like you build up in your mind the image of like the perfect girl, like, oh, she's amazing, she has no flaws, like I need to hit the gym for her, or I need to be the best man I can for her. Do you ever think that way, or do you find like that has any truth to it?
Yeah, definitely. I still actually don't know what my ideal perfect girl looks like. I don't know what hair color it is. Like,
Okay.
I'm very much so just go with the flow.
Yeah.
But I know I want an attractive looking girl.
Yeah. And every guy, if they're being truly honest with you, will tell you that a lot of their day-to-day actions, even if they don't seem like they're directly for a woman, in the end, it's for women.
Definitely.
Like guys that hustle their whole 20s and 30s, like they just want to climb up to the top of the career ladder. A lot of that is motivated by women.
Yeah.
Because they realize that once they're in a position of power, it helps.
For me, there's a reason why I work out outside in the sun.
Okay.
And it's because I want to work on my tan because I think I look better with a tan.
Fair, yeah.
And I think then I'd be more attractive to women.
Yeah.
Or attractive to women.
Yeah, totally.
So,
Totally. I mean, yeah. I think tans are super underrated, by the way.
absolutely.
Both guys and girls. Don't give me no fake tan. Give me
Yeah.
a real tan.
Yeah.
It's like some proof that you go outside, I think.
Yeah. Elephant joke. You get more bush if you got a bigger trunk.
What? Why did you include that in your notes?
For that reaction.
All right. High five, man. You're weird.
Makes sense, though. Got a bigger truck, you get some more bush.
You're weird.
It made you laugh though.
Yeah, there you go. You know how people will say like, "Oh, don't worry, there's someone better for you out there," all that stuff. Usually when you're consoling someone that broke
More
up.
fish in the sea.
Exactly. Do you think by the same token that's a little bit scary, considering like, okay, say you marry some woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've met 0.01% of the population. Realistically, there's many girls out there that would have actually been better for you in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Does that scare you off of marriage at all, or like knowing that there is someone out there who's better for you?
No, because I'm not the type of person to think that there's only one perfect girl out there for me.
Yeah.
I think if you have two intelligent, smart, hardworking people, you can make a very healthy and successful relationship marriage with so many people, so many different people.
I agree. Yeah.
So I've never been like worried about ending a relationship, being fearful of that maybe she was my one and only.
Yeah.
Because I do know that
Many people out there could make you happy.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say it is totally about like what you put into the relationship, how much you work on it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously everyone's going to have pros and cons, right? So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you got to realize like where your partner's lacking and maybe you can work on that or build each other up or whatever.
Definitely.
However, still the fact remains is like you could be married to someone and you could meet someone who is like miles better
Mm-hmm.
than the person you're married to. I mean, idealistically, that shouldn't like turn your head,
Yeah.
right? But it definitely happens to people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's, you know, a bit of a, I don't know if scary situation is the right. I mean, then it comes down to like, okay, are you putting yourself in the type of situations where you could start to like this person or become attracted to them or,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you do find someone that you're that attracted to initially, like, should you remove yourself from that situation?
Well, for myself personally, when I'm in relationships, I actually think I can be quite rude to other women once I'm in a relationship. And it's not on purpose or anything. I get so heavily invested with the person I'm seeing that even if I ever get approached by another person, I'm like hardwired to just be like, basically get away from me.
Okay.
So I don't give enough like time and attention to other girls to even have those thoughts really cross my mind. Of course, I'm going to see the girl be like, wow, good looking girl right there.
Yeah.
You know, like that's just human nature.
Totally.
If you say you don't do that, you're lying. But yeah, no. So I've never thought that deep on it.
Yeah.
One thing that I just started randomly thinking of because of this conversation was every time I have gone through a breakup or a rough patch in a relationship, it doesn't matter if I'm talking to my parents, best friends, whatever. No one has ever told me no one's ever advised me to try and make the relationship work.
Really?
Everyone's always advised me like, oh, maybe it's just time to move on. And so now I'm wondering, did they just not like my partner, or do they just not want to get into the conversation, or is it,
I mean, it totally depends on the people that are giving you that advice. Yeah, that's tough, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, if I genuinely thought you were with the right girl, I don't think you guys would be on the verge of breaking up or breaking up anyways, right? Like that shouldn't be the case with the right girl.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably part of the reason.
Definitely.
And I would say further to my point earlier about, seeing someone more attractive or becoming attracted to someone outside your marriage, something like that, or outside your relationship. I do think that the physical attraction is so much more important at the start.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, finding out someone's true personality and all that is where like the more real attraction comes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've become more physically attracted to girls because of their personality.
Absolutely.
And you usually hear girls say that about guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they usually say like, oh, that's not a guy thing. But I've actually experienced that for sure. Like girls that I now think they are more physically attractive because of their personality.
Mm-hmm. Once I've started to see this one girl's true like kind of emotional intelligence and how well she could make me laugh.
Yep.
I was already very attracted to her, but it was crazy how much it spiked for me.
Yeah.
Like how much more I craved her, everything, So yeah. How long do you think it takes for you to get comfortable in a relationship to kind of show everything, like your good habits and your bad habits?
I would say tend to be pretty quick. My more recent experiences, I've actually spent a lot of time with the person up front. So it's different if you were seeing someone once a week, right? You just don't have the time to.
Definitely.
But in my most recent situations, like I spend a lot of time with them. I'm also reasonably confident. Like I don't really worry about covering up my flaws or hiding them. That was even a point I wanted to talk about today. So let's kind of segue into that. Is like, I'm not trying to just be my best self and only show my good sides, or like on the first date, I'm not so uptight about needing to just be perfect.
Yeah.
I think you can really release that nervousness and be like, you know what? You're going to say something dumb.
Definitely.
You're going to mess up. You're going to reveal some of your worst qualities. But hey, if you only got some girl because you were tip-top game, like A+ date, like everything went perfect and she liked you, well then, you're not guaranteed that she's going to like you when she sees some of the more human or real sides of you.
Absolutely.
And so that's something I was kind of thinking about, that like you can almost take the pressure off yourself. Be like, hey, I don't have to be perfect. Neither does she.
Yeah.
Like some flaws are okay here and they're humanizing. And I guess maybe that's something I would have struggled with when I was younger, is like feeling this like pressure. Like, what if I mess up? Big deal.
Yeah.
Big deal.
So for me, when it comes to like how long it takes for me to get comfortable in a relationship, for me, it's probably like a week and a bit. And the only thing that I don't show right away is probably my goofy side.
Okay.
That's something that takes me like a week or two to really let out. And
are you saying once you're actually in a committed relationship, or like
even just like once I've spent enough time with the person and hanging out enough, that my true, genuine goofy Ty comes out at night?
Yeah.
It takes about a week and a bit for that.
And do you think idealistically that should come out right away?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It would be something that I'd definitely like to work on.
Oh yeah.
It's also just me kind of getting a feel for the person too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then when it comes to like a first date or something, I was actually thinking of this today as well, because I'm going on a date tonight, and I'm like, I don't get nervous for dates anymore. I used to when I was younger.
Me either.
But I don't at all. And I don't get nervous for dates. I don't get nervous for job interviews. And the reason why is because I've come to this realization. It's very obvious. I'm not going to be the first person to make a mistake. Like if I go on a date and I say something dumb, I'm not going to be the first guy to say something dumb on a date. So who cares? I'm not going to be the first. I'm not going to be the last. Like everyone has done something stupid.
Yeah.
Everyone has messed up. So who cares?
Yeah. No, I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. Like I look forward to dates.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool. Worst case scenario, you basically just had like a hangout with someone that wasn't perfect chemistry.
Yeah.
Whatever. You went and did something social or fun or whatever.
Exactly.
No, it's fun.
And then you go fishing again.
There you go.
How many sexual partners on average do Americans have?
Wasn't it 7?
It is 7.
Yeah. I've heard that before.
Very interesting. It was actually crazy because I saw the variances between like different states.
Oh, yeah?
So I think somewhere like Idaho, people were saying like 15.
The most?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I was thinking like New York or something would be the most.
Well, sorry, I don't know if it was the most. It was just like an example in the article I read.
Okay.
But in some like very Christian states, then it was like 1 or 2, right?
I figured Idaho would be fairly Christian, but
okay, well, you know what, maybe that's a state that I saw in reverse.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's just a big variance is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I would imagine like California is pretty high.
Yeah.
Florida's pretty high.
Probably a lot of the states with some big universities.
Probably, yeah. Although that's such a small percentage of the entire state.
True. Which country has the most girlfriend material girls, in your opinion?
That I've been to?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's so hard, man.
Is it?
That's really hard.
For me, it's easy because I've only been to a few countries.
Yeah?
And so it's so easy. Like for me, it's here because there's such a wide variety of girls that are here.
Yeah.
We're back home. Like you're only meeting one type of girl in a sense.
Yeah. Percentage wise, I think Canada's not the highest for me because I think there's just so many girls and so many, like where we live, it's actually a very high amount of females to males. but not a super high percentage of those girls do I figure are girlfriend worthy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't say it's Canada. Some people would say Thailand. Like I've lived in Thailand. Some people would say that. If you're a white man, it's probably true. Like it's very easy to get a girlfriend and they really want you when you're there. But depends if that's what you're looking for. Georgia, I've lived in Georgia. Georgia is very hard to date.
Georgia, the country.
Georgia, the country, is very hard to date in. They're very religious. They tend to date within their own region.
Right.
So they're not as welcoming, and there's a lot of like societal and family pressures not to date people from outside Georgia, or that's the way it seems.
Okay.
But that's not to say, like, they're great women.
Yeah.
There's very good women there. It's just like maybe harder to meet them.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it doesn't mean that they're not girlfriend material.
Yeah.
They're just hard to meet.
Fair.
But here, you're right. There's amazing variety. I think the only problem is that this is a very competitive dating market.
Yes, it is.
And so I'd say it's more important to like choose the type of woman you want here. You got to realize that 30% of the women here are going to be here for a guy's wealth.
Yeah.
It's just the truth. Those types of things are going to happen. You got to be smart enough to select the women that are into the type of guy that you are. Hey, maybe you're that rich guy and that's what you're looking for. There you go. But you just kind of know your role in this city.
Absolutely.
But you're right. There's so much variety that there's girls from every continent here. There's girls with every type of belief system. There's party girls. There's stay-at-home girls. Like whatever you want is here. It's very varied. It's very varied.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And there's going to be hate on this take by me, like judging a book by its cover. But I even think on like dating profiles out here, it's so easy to judge whether a girl's profile, if she is that girl that's out here to find a guy with money, or if she's a bit more of a genuine old school type girl.
Yep.
Who you definitely see.
Well, they basically advertise it in their dating profiles.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's literally like, hey, someone buy me F1 tickets.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Like,
the way it would make me happy is F1 tickets.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
Right, well, not for you then.
Yeah. So you get, there's it's a smorgasbord. Like there's a lot of variety, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
It's good to find out your dating preferences by dating different women, figuring out, hey, this is this type of girl. This was hard to find back home, but I can find this here.
Yeah.
So I can see if I like this, you know? I was listening to that, and I'm going to butcher her name here, Samira Khan or something like that. Put her real name up. She was talking about how dating apps have really hurt people and their ability to like, she was saying you used to break up and you had no options. Once you're broken up, you have no options, and you're basically forced to sit there and reflect on like, what could I have done better? Why did this not go properly? You know, you suffer through that heartbreak, and it's tough to get out there and find someone new. These days, there's instantly like, oh, there's 40 girls interested in me on Hinge or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just go find the next one. And, you know, I wasn't the problem, so screw it.
Exactly.
You know, do you believe that?
No, I've never thought of it, but no, I think that's a very valid point.
Yeah.
I mean, I even think back to some of my early relationships where I didn't have any dating apps, and I was just stuck with my thoughts after a relationship.
Yeah.
Where now, if I go through a breakup, I'm like, I'll download this, download that, go out here, meet her, you know?
Yeah. I think the optionality of dating apps probably isn't the most healthy either, because it makes it feel like there's so many available singles out there. Like, look at all these girls that like me on social media. The truth is, you go out for a walk, you maybe see 2 girls of that quality out of the 100 that you walk past, or something like that. Whereas on Hinge or whatever, it's just like next, another beautiful girl over and over and over. And so I think it probably does give some people, like, if people didn't think that there were so many other good options out there, then maybe they'd invest more in what they currently have.
Definitely. And how many times have you been like, well, for me, you go out in the marina here and it's like, wow, beautiful girl. And it's like, dating apps do not keep you humble, because if they didn't exist, I would be forced to try to approach and introduce myself to a girl.
Yeah.
Right? I'd get stood up a lot.
Yeah.
And I would be humbled by it.
Okay.
I'd probably learn a lot.
Sure.
Where Hinge, I sit there on the couch and I'm going through it. I'm like, oh, I could date her, you know? Like,
okay.
You just kind of, it's easy for your ego to kind of take over when you're just sitting on your phone.
Yeah. I would say when it comes to Hinge, I still don't think it compares to meeting girls organically.
No. And
because like I know that the most sought after girls don't even need it.
Yeah.
Instagram is their dating app, and or they just constantly have people coming up to them that they don't even feel like they would need a dating app. They already have too many people coming up to them in person. And so I honestly do believe that getting over that approach anxiety, that fear of approaching like an attractive woman, like you feel it. You see that girl and you say, oh damn, like I'm a little nervous. I should go talk to her. You maybe do, maybe you don't. But like that is what I think all men should be aspiring to, is like working up that self-confidence to be like, no, I'm going to do it.
Definitely.
Going to go introduce myself. Hey, just wanted to stop you. Thought you looked really good.
Yeah.
Want to introduce myself, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do, but I think that is where you truly find the very best relationships.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's so funny. Like, there's been times where I see a girl and I'm like, I'm going to say something. And like, I feel it in my chest.
You
I'm like,
feel it.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm not. When you just tuck and run.
I've been there, man.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
And then the justification is always like, I'll do it next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like, no, she had her headphones in. Like, she didn't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
But like, sometimes you just got to do it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think it is better to be overly cocky or lacking confidence?
I think overly cocky, because I feel like it can be corrected. Because if you're overly cocky, one day someone's going to call you out.
Yeah.
Someone's going to humble you.
Yeah.
But if you're the shy, timid guy who doesn't have an ounce of confidence, unless you have a really good group of people, like good friends who are like, hey, you know what, you need to be more confident and like build you up.
I think it's way harder to build confidence than it is to tone it down a little bit. Tone the confidence down. Like, it's if you're lacking confidence, a lot of people lack confidence their entire life.
Yeah, and that's why I agree. I think having too much confidence and being a little cocky is better, because I think eventually people are gonna tell you, hey, you need to shut up.
That's not to say though that those overly cocky, like there's overly cocky people that I know that have been overly cocky their whole life.
Yeah.
And they will continue to be.
Definitely.
Like a lot of people, that doesn't get humbled. But I still agree with you that overly cocky is better. I think maybe the main reason is because there's way more people that are lacking confidence than there are people that are quite self-assured and cocky. And I'm trying to like make it like two extremes here, like overly cocky.
Right.
Like that's a problem too,
Yeah.
you know? And it definitely gets people in trouble or turns people off of each other when, you know, you see someone who's like overly full of themselves, of course.
Yeah.
But I still agree that it's, at least you're self-assured and you're making decisions that you fully believe in because you're so cocky that you think like, I would never fail.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But no, I do agree. That's the right answer, but obviously neither are great.
Yeah.
One thing that really bothers me is when, and guys are guilty of this too, but when women say like all men are trash.
Yeah.
That is
so false.
Well, first of all, you know, the sexes are pretty equal. Like there's a small percentage of like really top tier people on both genders, and the rest are, you know, mediocre or not great. And so it is hard to find a very good partner. Like to find one of those really top tier people, it's actually very competitive. Like if you want to find a really, really top tier woman, you got to be top tier yourself.
Yeah.
And so when people are saying like, oh, all men are trash, it's like, make it any more obvious that you just can't attract a top man. It's true. Like always. Yeah. It's so true. And so it's like, if you have this mindset of like, oh, all women are trash or all men are trash, it's because the ones that you're encountering are trash, which means you're only able to attract trash men or women. That's exactly what it means. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. End of the day, it just comes down to what you can identify. Like, for me, when I see all these girls be like, this guy cheated on me, that guy cheated on me, it's like, can you not see that coming? Like,
yeah.
To me, a cheater is spottable a mile away.
Totally.
So.
No, I mean, okay, not always.
Not always.
No.
Not always. But have some intuition.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's more forgivable when you're 19. When you're 30, you probably should be a little bit more socially clued in to like which type of people will work for you and which don't. And yeah, Yeah, like I said, when you're young, like you're going to make mistakes. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're dating serial cheaters every single time, it's time to like think, oh, maybe there's something in me that is attracted to toxic people.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe I need to work on that.
Yeah, you got to step outside of your own shoes and take a look.
Totally.
Do you agree with this statement that men only have two problems? They have a money problem and they have a woman problem?
Well, it totally depends on the context. I've heard that. Where did you hear that?
At the golf course with that guy.
Oh, really?
When we were sitting down having lunch with him. That's what he said.
Oh, did he? I don't remember that, but okay.
And
I don't know.
I really like the way he put this, actually.
Okay.
So when he says like a woman problem, he's being like, if you're a traditional guy and you want to have a wife one day, you know, finding a woman, it's not a problem, but you know, it's a task that you have to achieve or, you know, get done at some point.
Yeah.
And you also have to be financially free and do well for yourself. And he said, he gave this advice, and I think it was so smart. He's like, figure out the money issue first, get your career, get all that sorted, and then figure out problem number 2, which is a woman. Because if you go with problem 2 first and find yourself a lady, it's so much harder to work on your business and everything.
Okay. I do remember him saying that now, and I totally agree. I think I even subconsciously did this in my own life. Like there was periods of years in my younger 20s where I was the only thing I cared about was business. Did not care about getting distracted with women. At least very rarely. And it makes sense though, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely.
When you have money, you meet higher level people, you get invited to bigger events, you know, you can go on vacation to some hot spot and meet a girl here, meet a girl there, get introduced to someone here and there. If you don't have the money, you actually physically can't go do those things.
Yeah.
And so totally, I would agree. It's kind of like the peaking in high school thing, right? Like the guys that are really good with women in high school tend to peak in high school.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, that's good. But then they're still chasing women through their early 20s. They haven't built a career. Then you look at them when they're 25, 30. They're married. You know, their life has gone downhill.
Yeah.
They didn't figure out the money problem. So I think it makes sense.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning into that episode. It was definitely a more relationship-oriented one. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, actually, please let us know because we're considering playing more with this type of content. So once again, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.